YouTube land was good. It's your boy B Heard, aka Brian, aka Prince, aka Prince Virginia about the hating. If you don't know me, future FGC commentator, and if you don't know it, me especially, your boy is a big NRS fan. It's Mortal Kombat 11 week. I've been waiting for this week for quite some time, ever since January hit. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. For those who don't know, I'm a huge NRS fanboy. The reason that you guys didn't see a lot of Injustice 2 on the channel, as far as commentary goes, is like they don't have their own replay system. So that's probably my biggest thing about Mortal Kombat 11. If they have a ranking system and a replay system to where I can watch anyone's replays, man, I'm going to support the living mess out of that game. It's a commentary every day. Little fun story about me when I was in Denver visiting my mom's friend at the time. Well, I guess you know how like black people always say like that's my aunt, and it really just be your mom's friend, but you don't even know any better when you're younger. Yeah. We were in Denver visiting my aunt Bonnie, or Bunny, I guess. And my dad said, "You got one game. What game do you want?" When we went to the Denver Mall. This was years ago too, and like it's like almost like the elder gods were speaking to me, and they're like, "Hi, hi," and then boom, I saw Deadly Lines just standing all by itself, and I was like, "I want that," and then I got that game, and I played that game, put the mess out of the game. Oh man, I love that game. I think it was a Kung Lao Sub-Zero main in that game, Deadly Lines, from what I remember. Oh, I still played Johnny Cage a little bit too. So like I said, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I can't wait for Thursday. I have to work Thursday, but luckily I'll be able to watch, I think, maybe 4 hours of the stream. I don't know how long the stream's going to last, so hopefully if it lasts 4 hours, cool, that's perfect. I can watch the whole thing. So that's what I'll watch, and then you're definitely going to get my thoughts that Thursday. It'll probably be Friday morning when you get my thoughts on everything as far as gameplay and things of that nature, but you're going to get them nonetheless. So today I have Mortal Kombat 11 rosters prediction for you. This is just going to be the roster, plus the first DLC pack. I don't know if there's going to be a DLC 2 pack. We never know. Usually there is, and how NRS games have been successful as of lately, there's always like an extra pack, if you will. Hell, Injustice 2 had 3, so I doubt we'll get 3. But if we did get 3, this would be the ultimate Mortal Kombat game of all time. But yeah, I picked the new spots because the rumor is that there's going to be 4 new characters, which I actually like that more because I don't think there's going to be as much new characters as MK11, but I don't think there's going to just be 1 new character. There's going to be at least guaranteed 2 new characters. So I think 4 is probably the perfect spot, especially when they want to kind of bring some new, some older characters back, and I have some of those older characters back. So without further ado, let's get into the list, shall we? And without surprise, you know, my list, I have the 6 that's kind of been hinted at / leaked / guaranteed, right? So that's Scorpion, Raiden, Shao Kahn, obviously, because we've seen their renders and they look glorious and gorgeous. Man, like the game doesn't even, like it. MKX and MK11 look night and day. Like it's actually insane how different they actually look. Like it's ludicrous. It literally is. And then so I have Liu Kang and Sub-Zero next because those were the 2 leaks by the Best Buy thing. And then Sonya Blade was the part of the leak with the cover box cover art that we've seen. And I think that's a true leak as well. And I think like I said, I just believe that leak is true. It's going to be interesting to see how Ronda Rousey does it. I don't think the Sonya Blade actor never did a bad job. So it's just interesting to see why they wanted to go see her. Maybe because it's like MK11's really going to showcase the movie aspect of it. And I think all their movies have been great and phenomenal as far as the story mode goes. But they're really going to make a theatric movie, I guess. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of why you would go get Ronda Rousey and pay for that. But I digress. So the first person on my list, in no particular order, but you know, if I have Sonya Blade, I gotta have Johnny Cage. Now, some people think that Sonya Blade or Johnny Cage, well, Sonya's gonna be in the game, so a lot of people think that Johnny Cage is not gonna be in the game because he's gonna get replaced with Cassie. I personally don't believe in that. I still think they're gonna kind of like keep the legacy characters because that's like one of the reasons why you buy Mortal Kombat. Like they can make it work. This PSA, sorry to break it to you, sorry to ruin your day, pissing your Cheerios, whatever you want to say. Like y'all gotta stop with this mentality that like just because Cassie does a nut punch and Johnny does a nut punch, they're not the same character. Like y'all gotta let that go. Like Liu Kang throws fire and Scorpion got a fireball in MKX, but they're completely different characters. Like y'all stop it. Just because they have some of the same abilities doesn't mean they're the same character. And I'm one of those people that believe in it. Hell, Dragon Ball FighterZ made 3 Gokus work and 3 Vegetas work. So, and they even made 2 Gohans work. Like, there's a lot of the same characters in some games, but they can make it work. So, just pump the brakes, alright? For my next character, I think Smoke's going to be in the game. I think he's going to be in Nera. Now, I do believe Rain is going to be in the game. So that's kind of my OG Mortal Kombat-esque type of character that's going to be in the game. Jade is going to be in the game as well. I think they're going to show a lot of love to Denia. Katana, Melina, Fujin, I believe he's going to be in the game, especially with like a dark corrupted Rain, and technically that's his brother. So what better way to have your brother come out and support you than... hey, you're wilding right now, bro. What are you doing? I think Havoc is going to be in the game. I think he has a good shot to be in the game. I think they're going to go to different realms, especially with time travel. Maybe you'll see younger Havoc. Maybe you'll find out the lore of why his, like, just his, like, kind of, like, goatee / lip chin area is, like, skull, but the rest of his body is, like human. So that'd be an interesting backstory. Shang Tsung, I think he's gonna play a big factor in that role, and honestly, I think he took over Ermac's body in the MKX story, if I'm not mistaken. And Shang Tsung actually has a lot to do with this next character on my list, which I subconsciously wrote, but I didn't even think about. He gave Aaron Black eternal life too. So Aaron Black being the guy from Earthrealm, but he's obviously working with Outworld and Kodokan. I think he has an interesting dynamic there, and I want to see their kind of chemistry. Maybe they bring that up in as far as their character dialogues go. You know how they always do with the intros. And I think Cassie Cage and Kodokan, I think these are the 3 biggest names as far as the MKX characters go, the newbies go. I think they're guaranteed. I'd be shocked if one of these 3 are not in the game. Takeda, I think he's another one. He kind of has the best of both worlds, if you will. I mean, he's the predecessor and prodigy of Hanzo Hasashi, aka Scorpion, and the Shirai Ryu. Then you have he's Kenshi's son, and then even if I get the roster predictions wrong, and they do have like Taven and Dagon, you know, he has to play a factor in that because his mother was killed by Taven or the Black Dragon. So I think that's interesting dynamic as well. That's from the comic books. And then Kung Jin is kind of an interesting one. I think he fits perfectly in this Mortal Kombat, and the reason why I say that is because if it's all about weapons and there's like an old variation and a new variation, maybe the old variation is like, there's only gonna be 2 variations too, which I actually love that a lot. But maybe like the old variation is like an homage to Kung Lao and the Great Kung Lao or something like that, but it's still with the bow style. And then the newer variation is just strictly like Green Arrow. I don't know. We'll see. I think they can make it work though. Jackie, now I do have on my list. I do have 2 of the 8. 2 of the 8 new characters from MKX, but I have question marks on 2 of them, and Jackie's one of the ones I have question marks on 2 of them, because I do like Jackie and Jax. I do want to both see them in the game, especially if you look at Jackie's like concept art. Her concept art blows any costume that she has out of the water, although I do like the futuristic one, and I do like the Scorpion cosplay one, but man, they kind of just don't do it justice. And They made her a tough character, I want to say, because they kind of made her basic in design, and then she's like basically like an army brat, but like she didn't have her father, and like her father in a relationship is like, oh, dad, you're everything. Well, I mean, she had a father, but then he was a revenant and all that stuff. I want to see them do some service to Jackie and Jax, because she kind of has personality, so, but not really. So I want to see more personality from Jackie. And I think she's gonna be in the game, but I do have her as a question mark, like as one of those characters I could see NRS doing what they're supposedly gonna do with like Cassie, right? So if Jackie's in the game, I can see Jax not being in the game, but if Jax is in the game, I cannot see Jackie. You know what I'm saying? Devora, she has to be in the game. She was a main staple. She was probably, to be honest with you, the MVP of the story when you think about it, because she killed Melina, she helped Quan Chi and Shinnok free Shinnok, and then yeah, she had a huge staple, and then she was there at the final battle, and then she trapped Johnny Cage. So Devora, I like her gameplay. Keep the hood up though, cause she got a ball head. But other than that, who doesn't love Devora? Ferritor was the other character. Like I said, out of the 8 new characters, I think they're all going to be a part of MK11. I don't think it's going to be like a PS2 era, because even in the PS2 era, the PS2 characters still got a couple games as far as like Deception to Armageddon, even though everybody and their mom was in Armageddon. I digress, but I think Ferritor is going to be one of those characters that's kind of a question mark. I think if Ferritor's in the game, it's solely based off of gameplay, because the way that they kind of treated Ferritor is she was like fodder. She was just like a beat 'em up character, and then on top of that, in her ending, it's like basically, I think Farah becomes a Tor essentially, and gets a Tor on her back. So if anything, we might see that. Like, I don't know. I just think there's nothing interesting besides the gameplay of this character, and I do like the gameplay a lot. So maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. Who knows? Ermac and Reptile. Now, Ermac, I think it's gonna be an interesting character, because, like I said, he's Ermac in every story. It seems like every like character's ending, he has all these souls in him, right? Hell, he had Sang Sun's soul. He got his soul took, I think, in one of the stories. I don't know if it was MK9 or MK11. They had a soul where it was like, I think, the king of Edenia, and Ermac basically took his place. But it was the king of Edenia's soul, and then Sindel was there, Katana was there, things of that nature. So Ermac's, I think, one of these characters that they could actually really utilize in a story, especially with them going back in time and things of that nature. I think they're gonna use Ermac. Like, they got to. They have no other choice. And he's a strong character, and I want to see some of the. I want them to go wild with Ermac. If they're gonna make him a sorcerer, make him a badass sorcerer. Because if you saw some of the character concept art for Ermac, he looked like a scarecrow mixed with like a sorcerer mixed with like some badass you can't see his face kind of character. He looks sick. I at least want to see that costume in MK11. Oh my god, with MK11's graphics, please. And then Reptile. Reptile's an interesting one, because he thinks he's the only one of his race, but then, like I just said, that people think that there's a hint with Ed Boon's recent tweet about Chameleon. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. If you could give him Chameleon abilities, like say Reptile gets a power up, and he actually matters in the storyline and things of that nature, that'd be kind of sick. So if they put Reptile in the game, I think you got to make him better somehow, somewhere. I don't mind his gameplay, but yeah, just make him. I'm just thinking of storyline too. Make him better. Noob Saibot and Jax are the next 2 characters on my list. I think Noob Saibot. I think Noob Saibot could have a better. Like, I think you could take literally with Noob Saibot. I think you could take Ferritor's gameplay and Stunt Devil's gameplay with Johnny Cage and mix them together and make this a unique character like nobody's ever seen before. Almost 2 characters in one. And that's kind of how Noob Saibot has always been, because he's always been Noob Smoke, and that they had like the 2 characters gimmick. But I truly think you can make it to where this guy is literally 2 people in one. And like the shadow stays there, the shadow is like a factor, and like they can go insane with this character. Like, oh man, could you imagine, like, what if Noob Saibot has a thing where like he knocks you down and then in the corner when you're knocked down, he could set a shadow out for like a bodyguard, like almost like Ghost Oki, like from Dragon Ball Fighters with Gotenks. Like they can make Noob Saibot so unique and so cool. And another thing, I know I've been making a lot of Dragon Ball Fighter Z references, but still, bear with me. Jax. Everybody has like, you either love Jax or you hate Jax. I think he's kind of one of those characters. But what if instead of his full arms, like his arms become detachable, and by detachable, I'm talking about these hands. And what if they kind of just basically make Jax to the full-on converter of a command grade character, like a Sentinel or well, I guess Sentinel wasn't really like a command grade character, but still, how he can shoot his hands, and Android 16 can shoot his hands. Could you imagine if Jax could gotcha, grab you in the air and body slam you, and say he meter burns that and gets a pop up, and then does the 1-1-1 into the grab, and then like, yo, you can make Jax kind of sick, and he'd be like a 16 character to keep you honest from jumping. Yo, come on, yo, make Jax great again. Like, yo, we could do some wild things in RS, and especially, I just want to see Jax in the, like, a lot of these characters that are picking, I just want to see them in these graphics, because I think this game's going to do so much service. This is especially like the females in Injustice 2 look good. There's not like a fugly female, you know what I'm saying? There's not like a butterface female, off the top of my head. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like this game's going to do a lot of people service, and I want to see that in all its entirety. Especially, another character I have is Sindel. I feel like, because I feel like there's some wild cards and some noticeable mentions, honorable mentions. And I'll get into that recently. But I think Sindel is one of those characters that you could do a lot with, and so to go on this long tangent but keep it short at the same time, I feel like in this game there's gonna be a lot of characters that it's gonna be weaponry based, right? And I was thinking like, oh, maybe they can't really do the weapons and have to run on the game, but if you look at it, a lot of characters in Mortal Kombat had weapons and they made them run fine. I mean, Kotal Kahn had a weapon, Aaron Black had weapons, Kung Lao had his hat, Kung Jin had his bow staff, you could use that nightstick or whatever, Cassie Cage has as a weapon, the gauntlets for Jackie Briggs, Takeda had his weapons. I can't even remember the name off the top of my head, but it's going to be more of a weapon-based game, so I don't know if it's going to be more run or dash cancel. Let me know down below. Do you want a run cancelable or dash cancelable? Because I think that's two interesting dynamics and stuff like that too. But I think the beauty of the dash cancel is I feel like in a weird way MK9 is kind of faster because you could always dash cancel. There's not like a burden for running. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you break her, you both lose your stamina bar, so you kind of have to slow it down and wait for a little bit. Where that's not the case in MK9. But anyway, I like to see the weapon aspect, and I think they could really utilize it in more ways than one. Like Sindel, her weapon could, I mean, she screams at you, and then that's kind of her thing, is her voice. But imagine her weapon being her hair. Imagine all the unique and creative stuff they could do with the hair. And the only reason why I say that is if you look at Injustice 2, hell, they made Adam possible. Like, what? They made the Ninja Turtles possible. Like, huh? They made Hellboy possible. Injustice 2 pushed the barrier of some of the stuff that they could do. So I imagine her hair being like a hitbox and the stuff she's able to do with her hair. Like, bro. Like, I think Sindel is going to be super sick if they put it in the game, and it's like one of those OG original characters that's coming back. And then I think Kung Lao is a character that's going to come back. I feel like the hat's going to be too godlike, and the hat's going to look too clean in this game, so why not? Like I said, I put the 4 new characters at the very bottom, so I had the time one that we saw at the end of the trailer. I think she's going to be an important character. I think there's another character in that leak list. I don't know how to pronounce the names off the top of my head, so I'm going to just leave it at that. And then I said 2 new characters, but I don't know who they're going to be. I probably, if anything, if they have more than 4 new characters, I think it's going to be 6. I think it's going to be basically Elder Gods. I think that's where we're swinging. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like almost to the point where I think we're almost to the point in MK, especially since it's like the retelling of the first timeline, to where it's like Blaze and like Elder Gods. Like it's like where we're at in One Piece. It's like where we're at in Dragon Ball. It's where we're at in like Boruto. Like it's only elite. Well, not Boruto, but Naruto. It's only elite people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only. It has to be these people that are swinging for the fences, essentially, right? And that's what I believe it is. Um, for my three guest DLC characters, I guess one of them is like my DLC character. I think Michael Myers. Yeah, Freddy. Yeah, Jason. I think the next killer that you could think of that everybody loves and knows that would work well in this game is Michael Myers. And hell, yeah, Leatherface. Leatherface was freaking broken, so I think you can make Michael Myers broken too. Um, Spawn. Come on, man. Everybody wants Spawn, especially in this game. How glorious he would look in this game. Yeah, put Spawn in the game. And this is my headcanon. This is who I want. I want Full Gore from Killer Instinct. Hell, the name's Killer Instinct in the title. Uh, he's a robot, so it's not no harm, no foul if you kill him. And you know what I'm saying? Except I think Eagle was one of the Full Gore bots, if I'm not mistaken, and then Thunder Freedom, if that's Killer Instinct canon. Let me know if I'm right about that. I'm not too sure. I'm off the top of that. But anyway, Full Gore, why not? Iron Galaxy, NetherRealm Studios are in both in Chicago, so you can really just go down the street and borrow a cup of sugar. Instead of borrow a cup of sugar, you can borrow a character and put them in the game. And Full Gore versus Scorpion, and also, I think I forgot to mention this. I think Sub-Zero would be a great addition to Smash, and I think he is going to be in Smash because there's a reason why we haven't seen him yet. Come on now. You really think we're not going to show Sub-Zero? It's always been Sub-Zero versus Scorpion at the very beginning. There's got to be some sort of hindsight is 2020 going on to where Sub-Zero ain't been showcased yet. Calling it now. I'm just saying. I'm on the hype train with Max. And I didn't put any other DLC characters because we don't know if we're going to get another pack. But some honorable mentions for characters I can think of off the top of my head before I get crucified in the comment section if you made it this far. Kai would be a great addition. I think Rico would be a great addition. The only problem with Rico is he's kind of like a Shao Kahn clone. Like to a T. That's the only reason I know you said, oh, but Prince, you said that they can make it work. I mean, they can make it work, obviously. But, like, literally all his moves were like Shao Kahn's moves. Like to a T. Like they even gave him the helmet. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like where like Johnny, like Frost was in the game, but she had daggers and Sub-Zero had a sword, and I think she froze them different. And like you know what I'm saying? But it's not like she did the exact same fire snowball, ice ball as Sub-Zero, and like you know what I'm saying? But Frost is another one. Frost, Reiko, Kai. Obviously, the robots, by far the robots. Ashura, a lot of people want her. Only thing that's tough too is I can see him get some of the legacy characters and make them DLC because it's like you would pay for the legacy characters over the PS2 characters because they didn't give a fluff about the PS2 characters. But yeah, I think that's my list. I think I'm trying to think of any other characters for honorable mention, but none are coming about. Scarlet, I guess, yeah, that'd be a cool one too. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you enjoy my list. Let me know your list down below. This is B Heard signing off. Be sure you will get a whole lot of MK11. Excuse me, Boa. MK11 content and footage, commentary practice, gameplay. If there's a ranking system, we're gonna try for the best ranking system, and I'm gonna get on both consoles. So I'm saying all that good stuff and more. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.